Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Party Chat podcast. I'm your host, Squiggy, and today joining me we have Slazo, Mike, and Laura. Hi, guys and girl.
Hey,
Hello.
How's everyone?
I've got a cold.
That's not good. That's not good.
I just like to share with the people that I'm sick, so that when you're not mean to me later in the podcast.
So basically, I can blame you for me being ill as well. Got it.
Let's not start on that road. We don't want to go down that road.
But I just want to feel sympathy if you lot are mean to me, so when they're listening to the podcast, they're like, "What mean guys?"
Mean girls, stop trying to make fetch happen. Anyway,
What?
exactly.
That's a Mean Girls reference,
Yeah.
Laser. Oh God, never mind.
It's wasted. It's wasted.
I know.
It's wasted. It's awful. So anyway, we'll start this week by having a look at some of the top news stories from the past week in gaming before moving on to our topic of the week. And then we've got some new features we want to introduce to you later on, and I'm pretty excited about them. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking forward to them. So we'll jump straight in with the news. The first news story today, League of Legends World Championship will be broadcast on the BBC for the first time ever. The event begins on the 15th of October, I believe.
Yep.
I don't know how long it runs for, but this is a
It's the quarterfinals from the 15th.
quarterfinals,
So-
and thank you. You think you wrote the article?
Yeah, I did.
That explains that.
It's not that I'm just really into League of Legends.
but you're a fan.
I've actually never played it, so.
Oh,
I think I'm the only one here who... Wait, Slazo, have you played League?
Nope, never. I've played Dota, but not League.
I feel like
Huh?
I got added to the email list about it and kept getting like emails going, try League of Legends today. And I was like, Darren signed me up for crap as it is. It's literally that's basically my knowledge of League of Legends.
sounds about right. So I'm assuming this is a big deal, like a big
It's
deal
huge.
for
It's huge.
it's a big deal for gaming
It's a...
to be on the BBC.
Kind of,
Yeah.
but considering BBC Three's going down the crapper before the year ends.
Well, that's
No,
what I was
no,
going to say as well.
No, but it's still getting all the online coverage. I mean, they're teaming up with the BBC Sports people to do it. They're doing the same coverage they do for like Glastonbury and they did for the
Whoa,
Olympics.
whoa, hang on. Gary Lineker's going to be presenting that
He
today,
is
League
got
of Legends?
he's got the
League of-
BBC Sports
League of
team.
Legends
God,
of the day.
man.
It's going to
God.
have Alan Shearer and Rude Hill in the studio with.
I'd watch that. We see Shearer's top-notch commentary on some esports
Well,
plays.
the attack in here is brilliant. Look at the movement from that player. It's beautiful.
Yeah, but they are putting a lot. I know it's on BBC Three, but they are putting a lot of effort in, and the fact they're working with BBC Sports to do it at the same scale of Glastonbury and stuff, I think is huge for esports. But
Yeah,
just me.
it is. It's a big deal. I did enjoy the Olympics coverage, which I didn't watch, but the cricket coverage is good.
You didn't watch it
I wasn't here.
after that, but yeah, no, but I think that's just it just shows how popular esports is becoming. I mean, I think that's like another like a milestone for it. I know being on TV is one thing, but being on the BBC is like.
Even if it is BBC Three.
Yeah, even if it's because it's under the BBC, it's being edited, produced, and they're using a BBC Radio 1 DJ to host the coverage. And at the end of the day, it's getting the BBC seal of approval. It's going to be done to the BBC's high standards.
Yeah, just like that Game Changers program.
We're not going to talk about that. That's still on my planner. For reasons that all I saw was hate about it. But this is coverage. They can't. This is fiction. This is coverage. They can't change the narrative when it's live coverage.
You'd be surprised. The BBC do what they want.
I was gonna say.
No. There's also going to be interviews in the coverage, which is cool to say.
It's strange though that in a way like it's taken a while for anyone in the UK to pick this up really. I mean, Challenge has that weird
Video Game Nation.
Video Game Nation, yep.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, we've had like video game stuff before. I mean, Sky occasionally has video game dedicated channels. Like years ago, there was something called X League, which was competitive gaming, but that died out within like half a year.
Someone's popular. I remember another thing that used to be on Sky, I can't remember the name of it, but that was a gaming TV show. And every week they used to have a challenge. It was a friend against a friend on games. That was quite interesting. But then after that, just sort of died a death, and then nothing really picked back up again from there. So it's good.
Yeah.
It'll be good. I might watch a little bit of it to see what it's all about, see how it goes. But it's good.
But let's be honest, we all just want Games Master reruns. That's all we want.
I don't know what that is.
I
You didn't watch it?
don't think I ever watched
Oh,
it.
it had that famous professor guy as a head. It was brilliant. I
Right.
can't remember his name to
You're
save my life.
literally like just speaking
Speaking in
garbage
tongues.
to me. So, but yeah, because I just think this could be this if it goes really well, and this could lead to more.
Patrick Moore, that was his name.
I
Sorry,
don't know,
go on.
still don't know who that is, but I'm just saying,
You
like,
do-
Wasn't he
No,
the guy in
carry
Star Trek? No, no.
anyway, no, I was gonna say if League of Legends does well on the BBC, they'll pick up other things. That's basically what they're doing.
I'll be on the
But
FIFA one.
I'm literally concerned that Call of Duty Championships will be on the telly.
It's better than nothing. And then
It is
Halo,
better.
and it'll give a little bit more attention to gamers, and then there'll be articles in the Daily Mail about how people playing games are awful people and everything.
Racist, homophobic, sexist,
Oh my
horrible.
god!
Yep.
People
But
so
we're moving away from that. The next news story, the newest Far Cry game was revealed this week. Ubisoft announced Far Cry Primal, set in the Stone Age. It seems a completely different game compared to previous Far Cry games, which I don't know if that's a step in the right direction or a step in the wrong direction. I don't know what you guys think.
I am intrigued. I don't know if I say step in the right direction because they're treating it as a spin-off.
Yeah,
Like they were very clear to say it's a spin-off, which can anytime a game series does that, especially one that changes its setting so much and doesn't have a consistent story, unless I've been missing the
No,
crossover.
there's no
Yeah.
consistency.
So
between
when
Far Cry.
they're calling it a spin-off, it's like, but why? What I don't.
I
What's
think
you know what I
what
mean? It's a
what
bit.
they mean by spin-off is that like because they've already done this once with Far Cry Blood Dragon,
Yeah.
which
That
was
was a video game VHS style.
it was an 80s
Yeah.
80s
Yeah.
style take on the Far Cry, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was them kind of testing the waters with this kind of thing with that. And the fact that they're calling this Far Cry Primal instead of Far Cry 5, even though it's now it's still like a full $60, 40 quid, whatever.
It looks in the style of
game.
the other Far Cries. When the
Well,
they
has there
showed,
been any gameplay?
they showed a trailer. I swear they did with images. Yeah, they showed a trailer which looked like.
I thought it was just like a story trailer.
Yeah, but
I'm
it
sure
kind
I've
of showed
seen
the vibe.
bits where it looked a bit
yeah.
like gameplay. It might have just been CGI, but it looked a bit like what the gameplay is going to be like.
Yeah, what they're aiming
Yeah,
for. At
and
least.
it looked a lot like Far Cry games, and
Yeah.
it's weird.
Well, I'm sure it'll be on the same engine as Far Cry 4.
Yeah,
Which is probably so it won't be anything completely different. It'll probably just be Far Cry 4, but with primal styling, and instead of hunting elephants or riding elephants, you'll ride woolly mammoths. Whoa.
yay!
I did enjoy riding the elephant. It's even that moment was so good. It's up for a golden joystick.
But yeah, it's going to be.
Really?
Yeah, that is one of the best gaming moments of the year. Up for a golden joystick.
Well, for one, it wasn't even of this year, and for two,
Yeah, I definitely know the elephant riding was nominated because I was
Yeah, I
like,
think
oh,
I've seen it on there as well.
okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think Primal could be if it's an interesting change from the Far Cry series. But my worry is it's basically just going to be
Yep.
Far Cry reskinned.
it's just going to be more of the same. It's
Yeah.
just a stopgap between Far Cry 4 and 5. The interesting thing to note is that it's looking likely that this is going to come out before The Division. The Division was announced like 2
Yeah.
years ago. This was this
Yeah,
year.
because this has a release date, doesn't it? February.
28th, I think,
Well,
or
The
the
Division
last
has
week
a
in
release date
February.
as well.
What?
The Division has a date as well.
Yeah, but isn't it March? Like this is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought it was. I didn't think I didn't know it had an exact. I thought it was just March. Did it?
Although saying that, I don't think this will like. I'm sensing like a Batman style thing where, like when Batman was first announced, they were like, "Oh yeah, it's coming out on this date," and then like a couple of weeks later, they're like, "No, wait, no, sorry, it's being delayed by like 6 months."
Nah, mate.
So I feel like by the end of the year they'll probably be like, "Yeah, Far Cry's actually coming out next
November?
fall." Yeah, we kind of accidentally may have said February. We meant next fall. Yeah.
February, November. There's not much difference. So yeah, it'd be interesting to keep an eye on that and see how it shapes up. Anyway, next bit of news isn't. Sorry. Before we move on,
Oh, I was just gonna say, do you think they're oversaturating Far Cry though? Like,
It's like Assassin's Creed.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's my.
It literally is. Yeah, I'm literally like I was gonna say, oh man, it just gives me vibes of Assassin's Creed, but it's Far Cry. I was getting them vibes a little bit anyway.
And
Because
it's a Ubisoft game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed Far Cry 4, but I think I would have enjoyed it more if I hadn't played Far Cry 3. I mean,
Yeah,
you know when you've been
easily.
sat with me playing Far Cry 4 how much I was getting annoyed at it because it was pretty much the same stuff as Far Cry 3. It was literally exactly the same game, just a different setting. That's literally all it was.
This is what Primal looks like it is.
Yeah, that's what I
So-
mean. That's the issue. Like they're saying it's a spin-off, but is it a spin-off like Assassin's Creed, um, the one that came out after 2, and I think the one after that,
Brotherhood.
Brotherhood, and was it Revelations?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it going to be a spin-off like that, where then Far Cry 5 is actually going to be linked into it somehow? It's all going to be something like that, or is it just going to be a complete spin-off, basically skinning Far Cry 3 and 4 with mammoths and saber-toothed tigers? Maybe it's going to end with a meteor taking everyone out, and that's the end of the game.
I don't know. I'm kind of. Are any of us actually like gonna buy it? Is the
I
question.
mean, it's so far away. I'm still trying to work out my
So
Christmas.
far
release
away,
schedule.
4 months. That's not.
I haven't worked out
It's
what I'm
far away.
buying for the next 2 months.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
gonna be honest. It looks interesting. It looks like maybe if it's like the others, it's just a thing. It won't be something I buy on launch. It's something I'll buy in the couple of months after when it's like £10 cheaper.
yeah, it'll probably drop. I mean, I think Far Cry 4 dropped in price quite quickly, and 3 did as well. And I'll probably wait a bit. I mean, I'll have games to play from Christmas onwards, and I've got a decent backlog of games now anyway, so it's not unless it gets 10 out of 10s and rave reviews everywhere. I'm not going to buy it. And let's be honest, it's probably going to get, if it's the same as Far Cry 4.
Get an 8 and an 8 and an 8 and put some sites.
8.7 IGN.
Oh, an 8 from Europe. Oh, Eurogame
much
don't do
water.
stores anymore.
Too much water in the Ice Age.
So yeah, moving along from Far Cry, the Star Wars Battlefront beta went live this week, and I believe it will have finished by the time you're listening to this. I just want to know how everyone's finding it, who's actually played it. Laura?
I see. I played quite a few games actually. I tried the 2 modes that were available to me, and I think it's really cool. I really love everything Star Wars, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And it does feel like I'm just playing Battlefield though with Star Wars skins.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I played it. I thought, oh, it's cool. It's got Star Wars like all themed, and even like the music sounds like something from a Star Wars movie. But then when you sort of dig a bit deeper down, it is literally Battlefield, Star Wars.
And to be fair, there's nothing wrong with that because
No.
I enjoy Battlefield, and I should have gave 4 more of a chance. Like hopefully 4 would have caught on quicker.
Give
But
games a chance.
that. But basically, I played it by myself because no one was online, and party chat was down at the time. Yeah, PSN and their party chat. And basically, I don't know. I played a few games and not being able to talk to people on my team that I knew and just stuff like that. I just felt a bit. Like, I just felt a bit bored, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel like if you had people playing with that you know, and you could work as a team, then maybe I would enjoy it more. But it just kind of felt like, yeah, this is good. But I'm not having as much fun as I probably should have.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. I'm like, I haven't played the beta. I was thinking about it, and I was like, I've got enough real games to play. I'm not gonna waste time that I could be plowing through my backlog before all the big games come out this year, spending that playing on a beta. But yeah, it seems like the game is like, I don't know. I feel like it's not aimed at me in a way. Like, yeah, like if I was younger and I had that group of friends that Battlefront's all we play.
Come play around
You know?
my house. Let's do this. There's no split screen, is there? I've just realised that.
No.
Don't
But
bring your own consoles.
Come round my party, and we'll play this over Xbox Live or PlayStation.
But basically like we used to with Gears of War back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it was like that, then yeah. But I don't know. It looks interesting. But I'm interested to know, since you two played quite a bit of it by the sounds of it, what did you think of the balance? Because there's been quite a lot of like people complaining online that the Hoth map in particular is really skewed heavily towards the Imperial side, to the point where even one of the designers came out and said like, "Oh, it's a good thing we did the beta, because yeah, like." Rebels have a really hard time on Hoth to win.
See, it wasn't even hot. I had a really hard time as a Imperial on the other map, the volcano map.
Yeah.
I thought I just couldn't get this game. I was like, I don't understand. But then I got switched to the other team on the same map, and and I was suddenly top of the team and doing really well. So I don't know if I want to blame the map, but it just felt weird, if that made sense. Because it wasn't like I was just having bad games, but it was every time I was on that team, it's not like I changed people.
Yeah.
So
The thing.
maybe the balance is off.
The thing I found the most with I haven't done the Hoth one yet. It was my plan probably to do some later on, maybe. But when I was doing the other map, I found that whoever captured the first pod that dropped down pretty much won the game, because then you got extra sort of weapons and items, so you would get a turret maybe. So if you so if you capture the first one, you've then got a turret you can put down for the second one when you go to capture it. So really, it became quite unbalanced that way, because then again, if you capture the next pod, you get extra items again. So in theory, you could capture all the pods and keep getting weapons as you do it, keep getting turrets to put down. And the turrets do last for quite a while, because I remember I put face mine the wrong way, like you do, and I was like, is this going to ever disappear? And it literally didn't disappear the whole time I was trying to capture this one pod. And it got to a part where it seems a bit unbalanced, but again, that's what a beta's for, really, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, but then the game is like a month out
Yeah.
at this point.
I suppose
so
they can change a bit of balance in a way.
The worrying thing is, though, is that I've been reading a lot of forum posts from people who've been in the alpha and stuff, and basically saying that like all these things that you're complaining about in the beta are things that we've been like complaining about for months that they haven't fixed.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a worrying sign.
But I'm beginning to wonder if the beta was more just of a stress test of the servers and not actually of how the game holds up. Maybe they're still going to make tweaks to it based on the alpha, but the beta was just a stress test of the servers. See how that copes with a lot of people, because you've got to assume a lot of people have downloaded that.
Probably.
So I'm beginning to wonder if that was what the idea of it is. I mean, they'll say that it'll take feedback on board, but I wonder if it's to see how the servers could hold.
I think they might take the feedback, but it might not be ready for launch day, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, they might be storing that feedback and then update 1.1.
Yeah.
1.2. 1. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, I was actually reading something today. It was about Tomb Raider going gold. So it was all done, and then someone was like, Tomb Raider's gone gold. Now the day one patch, the work has started on that. It's like, I wonder if that's what the Battlefront's going to be like for online. It's like, yeah, the game's gone gold, now we'll start working on the patch for online to make it balanced.
That wouldn't surprise me. That seems logical to some degree. Because I don't think it's like it's not like broken to the point where you're like, this is unplayable, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, oh no, I think...
Like, it's frustrating that it's unbalanced.
I think it holds up quite well from what I was playing. It seemed good. Like, there was no lag. I got into a game really quickly, which is better than the Rainbow Six beta. But let's not talk about that.
It's just the worry is, though, is that if the game is unbalanced on launch, when you're launching a multiplayer only competitive shooter, like if they don't fix that balancing quickly, like they're just gonna bleed players.
Yeah.
Especially when like Halo comes out,
Call of Duty.
and Call of Duty and all this, like they really need to be on the ball.
Yeah, and to be honest, the Call of Duty beta, out of all the Rainbow Six, Battlefront, and the Call of Duty beta, the Call of Duty one was probably the best one I've played. It seemed
best one I've played for playing on my own.
Yeah, but
that might be that I just accept COD.
Yeah, but it just seemed like the best. It was well balanced still. It was no problems at all getting into a game. It was basically everything the other two betas combined on. If that makes sense. So whereas Star Wars was easy to get into a game, it was unbalanced. Whereas Rainbow Six wasn't easy to get into a game, but it was quite balanced once you got into one. Call of Duty just seemed to have everything down to a T, which is it's good for them. Not so good for the other two, but it's good for them. And if people have played all three betas, I'm wondering if they'll make a decision based on the beta they've played. I know you've played all three, Laura, but
have I? Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
yep.
we've played
I have. Sorry,
yeah.
I say play. It's Rainbow Six,
we've been on the Rainbow Six beta.
I tried.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I played none of them.
We couldn't. But for me, I think if I had to pick out those three games that have had betas, I'd be getting Call of Duty on launch if I had to buy one of them on launch.
If I had to buy one of them, it would on launch. It would still be Star Wars, just because I think they fixed the unbalance. But just because I think Call of Duty was so polished because it's similar to what it was last year and the year before.
Yeah, but you've got to.
Do you know what? Do you know what I mean? Like it's just like, oh, yeah, it's COD doing COD. This is a new. I know we're saying it's like Battlefield, but it's still a new to get the lasers and the aids, like anything in the air. The space battles, I think,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
in
yeah.
a time when there's not many games that get launched flawlessly at launch. I mean, I know Call of Duty will probably have a day one patch as well. It was nice to be able to play a beta where there was no real issues to talk about.
Yeah.
Which is something that doesn't really happen very often in games these days, where when they get launched, there's not many issues with them. But the Call of Duty Online did seem flawless. I mean, I know they've done it for God knows how long, but it seemed flawless, which is something you probably wouldn't expect from a beta. And to be honest, even if the main game's anything like it, it'll be fine. So, moving on from betas and launch day games and Call of Duty, um, Supermassive, the developer of Until Dawn, did an interview this week, and the guy I think he's head of the studio, basically came out and said that the game surpassed all expectations of sales, which is a good thing. I know you've played it, Mike, and you really enjoy it.
Yep.
It's one of my
best.
yeah. Sorry.
Probably like top. It's easily in my top 5 games of the year.
Yeah.
I keep on going back and forth on where exactly it is, but yeah, it's really good.
It's one that I really want to play as well.
I really want it to go on sale.
I know,
Stop selling so well.
That's what
go
I keep
on
saying.
sale.
I wish this game had bombed miserably, even though it got good reviews. I wish it had bombed and no
I
one had
don't
bought it.
want that. I don't, because that sounds like it would be a terrible game. If it did that, it was like,
No,
I don't want it.
I wish it got great reviews, but no one bought it, so then the price would drop. That's what I want, but it's not going to happen. But it's good to see a new IP doing really well in a sort of in the midst of all those sequels coming out. It's good to see a brand new game doing so well.
And I feel like it's almost like Sony's like secret weapon to this fall, where everyone's been saying, "Oh, Sony has no exclusives for this fall." It's like, oh, they do. They have Until Dawn, and sure, that's like nowhere near on the levels of Halo 5 or, you know, Tomb Raider or anything like that. But it's still like a really good game that I think a lot of people are overlooking.
Yeah, and it's still getting really good reviews as well. So if it gets the same reviews as Halo and Tomb Raider, it can be classed as a massive success, even though it already is already. But if it's still going to hold its own against them two games, I think. Yeah, and the guy also said that a sequel could happen down the line, but they weren't sure whether they would do a direct sort of horror type sequel. I think or there could have been a different sort of style. But either way, from what I've heard from you playing it and a few other people playing it, it's a brilliant game, and it's good to see.
Yeah, what I'd love to see them do for a sequel is to just like keep the psychiatrist character who's like as like a plot device and have him with a whole new like cast of characters, a whole new like setting, like a different take on horror. So like not a cabin in the woods, like just something different. And then yeah, just build off of that.
Cabin
Like
by
it
the
doesn't
beach.
exactly. It doesn't
Sharknado.
have to be like a direct sequel.
I saw a lot of people talking about having like online elements to it, but I don't see why. I think that would ruin it because I think it's much more don't talk to anyone while I'm playing it sort of thing.
Well, I don't know what do you mean by that because like it's a great party game or a great game to play with others.
I think there's people round the same screen, but I don't imagine you.
Yeah. No,
that's what I'm saying. I
don't
don't the online elements as in like having someone else, like you're one character, someone else is someone else, like in the same thing.
Oh yeah, no,
that sort of thing. Like I don't see that. And then there was like a suggestion because I think it was the game that got voted on for Xbox, the one that was vote for what project you want. And I don't know if it's the one that won, but there was like one of their Hunger Game style game where they were saying about having Twitch and have people vote on your decisions and say whether you did the right thing and stuff. I saw someone writing about this saying they would want the similar thing in Until Dawn. So like you do a decision, but you could have an audience online watching you. That's implemented in.
Awful.
It's called Twitch.
Yeah, that's kind of, but it's implemented into the game if you know what I mean. Like it's down actually in the game, so they're watching you through the game, not Twitch. But like they're voting and they're stuff like that, and I just thought that sounded a bit.
So it's like basically interactive Twitch,
yeah.
like basically like Twitch plays, but you actually, it's not basically people saying go up, go down. It's you playing the game, but Twitch tell you what to do in a way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that could go so bad. That could go so badly. It could go well, but it could also go so badly.
Because I have that image of like you know the screen that comes up at the end when you finish a Telltale episode, and it's like 39% of players are done just like that, but through your game live. You know what I mean? That's what I
But
imagine.
that's in Until Dawn anyway. There's an
Is
option
it?
you can select. Yeah, there's an option you can select on the in the menus, which is like show live data for choices. So then when it like pops up going like, oh, do you want to go left or right? It will go like left. 39% of people went left. Right. 61% went right, and stuff like that. So you can kind of like see what the most popular choices are and whether you want to go with the flow or like go against what the majority of people would do and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's quite good. I didn't know that. That's quite interesting.
I like the fact it's an option.
Yeah, it's one of those games I really want to play, so I will. I will pick it up probably before Christmas because I don't have enough games to play.
It'll go on sale before Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
I'm hoping it goes on like for a Halloween sale maybe.
Oh, good idea. Contact
It's
sales.
like it's pretty much the perfect game to play on Halloween.
Yeah.
Like
How dare you imply I don't have Halloween plans?
I was gonna say, unless you're massively hungover, then it's probably not the best game to play. Don't drink, kids. Stay in school.
You do know you can go to school. And no, I'm not actually saying that. Carry on.
you can go to school and drink.
Well, with your,
I
with
don't
your,
do both
your,
at the same
your
time.
bottles of white lightning in the playground. You don't know what white lightning is, do you?
No, please just move on. You're just revealing yourself to be a bit of an alcoholic.
I don't drink often. So moving on, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox and Microsoft Xbox, whatever you want to call him, he came out and said that he can't see the Xbox One beating PS4. I haven't gone properly into detail on this because that's what I do. But it seems that basically,
So prepared.
yeah, so prepared. I've done nothing today. I'm so prepared. But it seems that basically they're admitting defeat already.
I think the quote is more along the lines of him saying that like doesn't know if they can beat PlayStation, and to be perfectly honest, that's not what he's focusing on at the moment, which is hilarious considering like a year or two ago. No, it would have been a year ago because that was when he took over. He was talking up that like, oh, he can't wait to bring the fight to Sony and start,
I'm sure I remember reading.
trying to. Yeah. But now he's basically saying that like he wants to focus on what Xbox are doing, doesn't really care what. Like it's good to see that Sony are doing so well and that the console space is so like in a good place. But he's just focusing on what Microsoft can do. Which to be fair is like, I know like fanboys and people in the console war love to see like one group fail, but all you can really ask for is that like Microsoft do well and Sony do well, and then it's a like good space for console gaming.
Yeah, it's good for us if they're both doing well. In other words, really. Whereas sort of
competition.
I think it was when the start of the PS3 came out, it wasn't doing very well, and a lot of games weren't. Well, not as if they weren't coming out for the PS3, but they weren't being made a priority on the PS3. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
So they were obviously you're getting. I mean, I know on the Xbox there's all this talk about it only runs at 900p.
The 360 version was the main, and then they got ported to PS3 off that.
Yeah.
So basically the opposite of what's happening with this.
But I think now that the consoles are a bit closer, so it's not that much of a difference. I know resolutions are like the only main difference, but there's not really a big difference.
Well, the other thing is now because like the console architecture is so similar to PC, they can use that as the main import to console as well nowadays.
Yeah.
If they want.
But I think it's good for us that both consoles are doing well, and I think it's good that Phil Spencer's basically come out and said that he's just going to focus on Microsoft, which is a good thing again. Instead of trying to play catch up, they just focus on what they do, and Sony focus on what they do, and then everyone's happy. Especially if you own both consoles, and Nintendo can focus on what they do, and no one really knows what that is.
Nintendo can focus on continuing to dig their own grave.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's good. It's good to see the sort of they're not getting along in theory, but they're not hating on each other anymore. It's not like we must beat these. We will fight them on the beaches. We will fight them in the game stores.
I do find it funny though. Like it's like Microsoft keep on pretending like, oh yeah, like I think there was a quote a couple of weeks ago of Phil Spencer going like, he doesn't approve of the whole console war, hating on each other and all that. And it's like, try telling that to like the head of Xbox marketing in the 360 era, where like they were totally banging the drum about like, oh, we're in the lead, console war, boo Sony and all that. And now that they're like falling behind. It's suddenly like, yeah, we're so over the console war. Like, it's like, yeah, it's easy
Doesn't even
to
go
be
to
like
it.
that when you're losing. Like,
Yeah,
it just seems a bit
yeah, but it's
funny.
like Sony really aren't concentrating on the console war either, even though they're leading. I mean, I know in the run up to launch, when Microsoft revealed that you can't sort of share games and whatever it was, Sony did have a little dig at them.
Oh, you mean that E3
Yeah.
where it was just fuck you,
Yeah.
Microsoft?
What was it? How basically a thing of how to give a game to a friend, and it was a video of a guy take the disc out of your
You couldn't
PlayStation,
share games.
put it in the
Yeah, that
box,
was.
give it to your friend, win-win.
Good. Yeah, it was Adam Boys and Shuhei
Yeah,
just passing the game.
yeah,
How to share games on PS4. Yeah, that
yeah,
was pretty shots fired. But
yeah. But since then, there's not really been anything. I think since both consoles have launched, there's not been anything. But I don't know if that's down to the success of the PlayStation that Sony don't really need to get into a battle because they've already won in a way.
Sony are just like the funny thing is that like a lot of people have been saying that they've been getting a bit complacent.
Yeah,
I think they're just like they're just playing the long game of chess. Where like even this like holiday period where everyone's like, "Oh come on, Sony, what the fuck? There's no exclusives. You know, you're gonna get slaughtered by Halo and all this." And Sony are just out there like, "We don't care. People are gonna buy a PS4 to play like Fallout or any of the big third parties. We've got the Uncharted collection. We've got Until Dawn." And then we'll just slaughter them next spring when Uncharted 4 comes out. Like they're not like as much as the internet likes to pretend like, oh man, if Sony don't do anything this holiday season, like Xbox can worm their way back in. It's like no, Sony are just playing the long game. Like
yeah, and
they know
then
exactly what they're doing.
Sony have announced a price cut as well for the PlayStation, which again,
Yeah,
you've got that's nice. You've got Halo and Tomb Raider. We've just cut our prices. Pretty much. I think Sony know what they're doing. They're
well,
just they'll
quite obviously that's where they're ahead.
yeah. But I mean, I think they know what they're doing. Like now, even though they don't have many exclusives coming out at Christmas time, they know that if they cut their price and it's old news, PlayStation price is cut, parents will be like, oh, this has got a price cut. I'm going to buy this one, and it has all the games that little Jimmy will go. Little Jimmy, the little Jimmy wants to play.
Little Jimmy.
Yeah, that he wants to play. So we'll get that little Jimmy playing GTA and Call of Duty. That's fine. Yeah, we'll get a PlayStation for that. Remember, kids,
Sounds about right.
play games for your own age.
Yes, definitely.
That's all I've got. Otherwise, you'll end up like me.
I think just like the one important thing to take away there is that like, I mean, are we like people keep on expecting this generation to be like the last generation in terms of length, when in reality the last generation was like an anomaly. Like that was the first generation to ever go that long. So
Yeah,
like if this generation goes back to the what it was previously with like 5 year cycles, I think that can only benefit Microsoft where they can like basically like sweep the Xbox One under the rug and get a fresh start with whatever stupid naming convention they come up for the next Xbox.
Xbox Two.
Xbox One, two.
Xbox 362.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to a 360 type name.
Or seven, or like 720
Yeah.
or whatever.
Something like that. Like, we've come full circle from the 360, so now we are two circles. It's 720.
We come full circle again.
Phil Spencer, if you're listening, get me in there. He's not listening, let's be honest. So we'll round off our news with a little bit of DLC time, because we all love DLC, because what's better than buying a game and then having to buy more DLC for the game? So I'm pretty bitter about this one, just going to throw that one out there. So we'll start with WWE 2K16 DLC. That was revealed this week. I think there's 6 different bits of DLC, but Laura knows more, so Laura is going to explain every single part of it.
There's 6 pieces if you want to be like count all the stuff that is irrelevant. Because there's an accelerator in like this is the content that was revealed to be part of the season pass. I'm pretty sure. And then obviously everything can be bought individually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get an accelerator which allows you to unlock everything.
Don't get me started on that.
And players who can boost their superstar ratings.
Don't get me started on that.
My player kickstart. So they're 2 little things that will just. It's not really new content as much as it is just twerking game settings. Twerking is now a word.
Twerking?
I mean
twerking game
I
settings.
mean tweaking. Yeah, I'm sort of I don't know why I want twerk. Ignore that.
Basically, while Laura's not been talking, she's been twerking.
She likes to twerk it.
You need to
Anyway, then it goes into actually player packs where you get the Legends packs, which is Big Bossman, Dusty Rose, Lita, Mr. Perfect, Roddy Piper, and Trish Stratus, which I think's a quite good pack. Like that's quite a balance.
Yeah, there's some decent stuff.
That's fine. That no one can moan about because it's not like any of them are active on the roster now.
Yeah.
Because that's fine. Legend pack's fine. The same goes with the Hall of Fame showcase that you get with certain matchups being like Macho Man v Jake the Snake, Rikishi v The Rock, which is a weird choice because that was probably the downfall of Rikishi's career, that feud. But
what about
whatever. Wrestling
Medusa against Paige? I mean,
Alundra Blaze
watching
v
that one.
Paige.
I remember watching that. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's it seems a weird, like they're like all potentially real or dream matches, and then I wouldn't really list that as my dream match.
No.
Because I don't ever remember Paige being in the Hall of Fame.
No.
But
maybe it's a sign. Paige Hall of Fame
maybe
next year. She's retiring.
maybe that's what that is. The other thing that's a bit questionable. Sorry, I'll go before I say the Future Star pack where you get your people they've missed in the game that are in NXT, and also Diego and Fernando who were included in this for some reason as Future Stars. Where the Lost Matadores.
Who's in it? It's Blake and Murphy.
Samoa Joe and Blake and Murphy and Diego Fernando.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's also doesn't seem like a pack worth. That's $7.99. That's only $1 cheaper than the Legend pack, which feels a lot more like okay.
At least the Legend pack's well-known names, but I suppose
Yeah.
if you're a fan of NXT, you do know.
I don't know because Diego and Fernando ain't on it, and Blake and Murphy haven't been on since they lost the tag titles. So basically,
Actually,
you're buying this pack for Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
So $7.99 for Samoa Joe. The other thing that I think's questionable and probably you don't like either is the new moves pack.
Oh, I hate that one.
Because certain moves are not in the game,
So here you go. You can wrestle as Kevin Owens, but if you want to do his is it his suplex that he does from the
sidewinder suplex.
Yeah, if you want to do that, you've got to buy the DLC to be able to do that. That's like buying a football game. It's saying if you want to be able to shoot when you're through one goal, you've got to buy DLC.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's more like if you're Ronaldo and he didn't have his free kick stance. Something that makes Ronaldo iconic.
Yeah.
If that wasn't in the game, I'd say that's the equivalent.
Yeah.
Keep being dramatic, Squiggy.
Well, it's how I think it's ridiculous. I mean, you buy a game to be able to do the moves of some of the superstars, but you've got to buy extra moves to do, which are actually well-known moves from the superstars. It's not as if it's a one-off move that's been done before.
Yeah, it's like they're proper moves you associate with. But I think that's probably the worst DLC lineup I've seen in the last few years for WWE, because I swear they're normally more pack heavy with superstars.
Yeah, but I suppose they're trying to advertise the biggest roster ever, aren't they? So there's not many superstars missing, apart from a certain 4.
Yeah, 4 horsewomen who we know we're not getting. But I don't know. I just feel like that DLC to me is if you do it by the season pack, I don't think a lot of that I'd buy individually. Like, I mean, I'm not planning to buy the season pass or anything. I'm not even planning to buy the game at the moment. But
I'm gonna win.
Nice. But I just, you know what I mean? Like, when they sell content, I think the content that sells the best would be adding new superstars. I know you're saying, like, the largest roster ever, but to me, I'm not going to go, like, I still think there's enough superstars to do packs of.
Yeah, there's definitely more NXT stars to put in there. And even then, there's probably more legends you could put in. Not Hall of Fame legends, but, like, legends who aren't...
British Bulldog?
Yeah. I'm assuming, is the Hart Foundation in there?
No, they're not in the game.
Put them in.
I think Brett and Jim might actually be in the game. They might actually be on the roster.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen it.
Yeah, but I think the worst part is the fact that the current Divas champion isn't in the game.
I know.
That's the stupidest thing ever. And to be honest, I wasn't planning on buying it, but I think if some people are going to buy a game for all the WWE superstars, they're going to expect to have at least every champion in the game. And the fact that she's not in the game is a big omission, especially when they're like this give Divas a chance sort of.
Divas Revolution.
Yeah, Divas Revolution, everything that they're pushing, and the fact that the ones that are missing have probably had some of the best matches of the year. Sasha Banks and Bayley.
I mean,
To be fair, Becky Lynch, or when they had the Fatal 4-Way a while ago, they've had some of the best matches on TV. They're well-known stars now because of that, and they're not in the game. There's no plans on putting them in the game. But here, buy Blake and Murphy instead.
I like Blake and Murphy.
I like them.
I see your point, but when you're looking at, like, they're not main roster. I would rather sacrifice some NXT stars for the main roster stars. I mean, I know Bayley isn't, but she's an NXT champ at the end of the day, so she's one above.
Yeah.
It just to me seems a very weird thing to do. like like I said, if I'm looking from a business perspective, I don't think I'm excited about the DLC because this is their whole plan for the whole release of the game as far as the way it was worded. So I'm a bit concerned what they're expecting, what pack they're expecting to sell, or whether they're just trying to put all their eggs into the basket of this will help sell the season pass little bits, because people will be like, season pass, might as well.
Yeah, I think people will pick up the season pass just to make sure they've got everything, even though they don't want to. They'll probably look at it and think, I'll buy 2 of them, but then for another $5 I can get everything else, so I'll buy the season pass instead. That's what I think they're going to go for. But it's disappointing. I'm not high on DLC in the first place, and the stuff in this DLC doesn't really make me.
It doesn't justify. Oh, that's what it is. It doesn't justify separate DLC packs.
Yeah.
Maybe that one there, the Legend pack, but
yeah,
the other stuff.
Yeah.
How much is the season pass today?
It's $25, I think it is.
It's about $25.
Yeah.
And each pack, the most expensive pack in the thing is the Hall of Fame one, which is $9.99.
That seems really overpriced. As someone who doesn't play these games, that seems like.
The Accelerator is $1.99, like just to unlock content already in the game.
No, I mean like the season pass seems overpriced.
I think it works out because I think the
$24.99.
I think 2 of the other packs are $7 and $8 each. So I think that comes to just short of that.
You don't get the player kickstart thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not like doubting like when
you're not doubting the content. You're not the value of it all adding up. You're just thinking that's expensive for a season pass for a
Yeah, pretty much. Because like it goes like this probably goes into another conversation we'll have at another time. But like I'm noticing more and more that season passes seem to be really not worth the value like anymore. Like
they've been going on sale a lot more. Like, you know, half price season pass always seems to be on like a big PSN or Xbox Live sale. I swear more often than not now, and then it becomes good value. But when it's full price, it's like.
But I'm glad you mentioned that, Mike, about DLC.
Are we segueing into that?
Oh, we're segueing into another bit of DLC, which I don't think's worth it. The Rise of the Tomb Raider DLC. So again, that's a season pass, which I think is a bit dearer than WWE one, and you get.
It's dearer. What?
I think it's dearer. I can't remember properly off the top of my head.
I'll check.
But I think it's
the retro remaster.
Yeah, I think it's $30. This one, and you don't really get much in it, to be fair. Where is it? I'll get it in a second.
Season pass details.
$30. Yeah, so it's $30, and in this one you get. Apparently they're called 3 major releases, which will challenge you to survive the extreme conditions of endurance mode. Explore a new tomb that houses an ancient terror in Baba Yaga, the Temple of the Witch.
Baba Yaga!
And combat waves of infected predators in Cold Darkness Awakened, as well as addition of a steady stream of outfits, weapons, and exhibition cards beginning on day 1. So really, you're only getting 3 extra single-player bits to it. One of them is a tomb. The other one's endurance mode, which I'm assuming is just a harder difficulty, or something like that. And then the other one is basically Horde mode from Gears of War. Well, Horde and Zombies mode. $30. But you get new outfits and weapons because, you know, that's what it's all about.
Like, I was going to mention this, is that, like, the one that sticks out to me is the Batman season pass, where, like, that was, like, 35 quid.
That was, yeah, $40.
And, yeah, $40, 35 quid, and it's, like, 90% of the releases that I've seen for that so far have been, like, £1.60 skins and stuff like that, and it's like, oh my god, imagine if you paid 36 quid for this, like, or pre-ordered it, which don't do that. Don't pre-order games, let alone don't fucking pre-order.
Definitely don't pre-order DLC. Don't do that.
Yeah. So like, imagine you struck down 36 quid, and then over the past, like, 4 months, all you've really got is, like, here's £1.70 worth of content for this month, see you next month. It's like, oh god.
You can dress as Batman a different way. Yay!
Yeah, and this Tomb Raider DLC, though, seems like $30 for 3 bits of DLC. That is horrible value. Horrible. Like, the one thing that, like, I'm thinking of is that The Witcher Season Pass is, like, the first piece of content's coming out next week.
That's pretty much a full new experience, isn't it?
Yeah, the Witcher Season Pass is, I think it's, like, $20, and you get Next week you get a 10-hour expansion. So they're releasing a DLC which they estimate will take you 10 hours to complete.
Yeah.
Reviews are coming out for it. It's getting 9s and stuff. And then they're also working on another 20-hour piece. So for 20 you're getting 30 hours worth of content, which is as big as some games. Like,
Yeah.
and then you have Tomb Raider saying $30 for Horde mode, a new tomb, and some outfits.
And I'm
No.
assuming increased difficulty. I don't really know what endurance mode is, but by the sounds of it, it sounds as if you're going to have less weapons available and probably lower health and probably harder enemies. I'm going to assume.
Like, so 3 bits of content, it's like, I say they're $10 each. Like, $10 for a harder difficulty, bugger off.
Yeah, because no one's bothered about costumes. I don't care how she looks in the game. It's not going to affect how I play it or my playthrough. I care about the actual content part of it, like the extra missions and stuff, but it doesn't bother me. And I said before, I'm not a fan of DLC, and this isn't changing my mind, and I don't really think anything
I'm
will.
not a fan of DLC when it's done like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, this is what I mean though, like, just to go back to like the last value thing. Like, when I think of good season passes, I think of like the Borderlands season pass.
Oh, yeah.
You got
Yeah.
4 full expansions and all. Like, I remember when season passes basically used to be like, we're going to release these 4 packs. If you buy the season pass, you're basically paying for what would be 3 packs, so you're getting 1 free. Whereas more and more I'm noticing now that season passes seem to be like, we're going to kind of do this stuff, and then we're going to throw lots of outfits in there to pad it
Add-ons.
out and make it look like it's worth more. Like, it's like this Tomb Raider thing is like, yeah, you get 3 things and lots of outfits, guys. And I'm betting that like the majority bulk to make the season pass as expensive as it is there's going to be like 20 different skin packs, which you probably don't care about.
Yeah.
And then the actual like meat of the season pass is probably going to cost like $5-6.
Yeah,
That's it.
basically a bit like the Batman one where you get all the different skins for Batman, but your actual story stuff at the minute's probably lasted, what, an hour and 40 minutes based on the 2 things that have been released? So I'm sure you can
I think
finish.
it's more than 2 at this point.
Is it more than 2?
More than 2. But there's been the Batgirl one. There's been the Nightwing
Yeah,
one. They're working on the Catwoman one.
yeah, they're the 2 I know
Mm.
of, but they're not very long. I'm sure the Catwoman, no, the Batgirl one, it's probably about.
Batgirl one's about an hour,
Yeah,
and the others are about 10 minutes. So yeah,
yeah, so,
it is really short. But
yeah, yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, I'm not a fan of DLC, never will be, unless something changes my mind. Unless I can get DLC for FIFA to make Newcastle United a good team, then I might be interested.
Sorry.
yeah, it's called the in-game sliders. You just change them around.
It's called getting better at the game. So anyway, we'll move on from the news to the topic of the week. So every week, someone, not me, hopefully, picks a topic, and we all get together and discuss the topic. Our topic this week is games that need a sequel. So in the current climate, there's a lot of games that are sequels, and to be honest, as was said with Far Cry earlier, it does get a bit samey now and then. But what I sort of want to talk about today is games that do need a sequel or deserve a sequel. I don't know who wants to go first. Laura, Saints Row 5 does not count.
Don't want to go first. No, I wasn't going to say Saints because that doesn't need a sequel. I'm actually curious if they're ever do another one or where they would go
Oh,
with
they
it
will.
anyway.
They will, because you'll
Like,
buy it.
but I don't think they need one. I want one because
Oh, trust me, they didn't need Saints Row 4.
they needed Saints Row.
Probably didn't need Saints Row 2 or 3. But anyway,
Don't make me.
Or
Don't,
1.
I'll leave this. I'll leave. I will leave.
Boom.
I'm sick, and I said you'd beat me. This is it.
I think the obvious one is Red Dead Redemption. Like, it's baffling that this critically acclaimed game hasn't even had one announced. I mean, I know it's like Rockstar's thing where they just do their thing. Like, yeah, we're working on a new GTA, and then like 5 years later, they're like, here it is, whatever. So like, they probably are working on a new Red Dead Redemption, and they'll probably do the Fallout thing where it's like at E3, it'll just be like, here's a trailer for it. It's out in November. It's like, cool. Can't wait.
Do we actually know what Rockstar are working on at the moment?
Well, they were supposedly working on single player DLC for GTA 5, but because of the like whole issue with the online and how long it took to get the heists out, and then porting it to next gen, obviously, like. Yeah, I don't know if like they're
Right.
still working on the single player DLC for GTA 5.
No, they've said they're not going to do any single player DLC. There's going to be pretty much none,
Okay,
which is a
so
shame. So
you can thank GTA Online for that, because like based off of the GTA 4 single player DLC, I
I was gonna say that's.
would love to have like.
I know, even though we just spoke about DLC, I'm not a fan of it. If there was GTA 5 single player DLC, which was as good as the GTA 4 DLC, which was probably arguably better than the actual game itself,
Well, that was the
Mm.
thing. The
I would
GTA 4
buy.
DLC was notably good because GTA 4 itself was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's so much. But I know we're moving away from this, but there's so much you can do in the world of GTA 5. There's so many different locations and places, and there's so much stuff you can do in them that it's stupid not to do DLC for that. I was gone against everything I've said. This is not the
I know.
topic of the week.
I was
but
gonna
anyway.
say because this is the same thing. I was when Mike said Red Dead Redemption. I mean, we want it and everything, but then if they can't do it to the same standard as number one, I don't want it. If that makes sense. Like I know that sounds weird. Like if it's not, you know what I mean? Because it affects the memory of the game and the series. It's quite nice that it's a standalone. It's like that game we enjoyed because I feel someone's gonna mention this. So I don't want to step on their toes. There's another game that's critically acclaimed that hasn't got a sequel yet, and I don't know if I want a sequel because of how good the first one is, and I just like it being that one good solo experience.
I'm gonna guess it's The Last of Us.
It's The Last of Us.
But that's for different reasons. People don't want a sequel to The Last of Us because they're thinking sequel to The Last of Us, but no, that the ending is so good, don't ruin it. Whereas with like, if they did a sequel to The Last of Us, it doesn't have to be more
Yeah,
Joel and
they
like,
spoke about this. They've considered ideas doing with the same characters and different characters. They said in an interview they considered it.
and yeah, they totally are doing The Last of Us too.
Yeah,
Just throwing out there,
yeah.
they totally are.
Yeah.
They've already like mentioned it so many times in passing, like, oh yeah, just working on the sequel to The Last of Us.
Oh wait, we're not allowed to say
Whoops.
that. There's no sequel to The
Yeah.
Last of Us. We have no plans for it. But we're working on it. I'm doing voiceovers. That's what it's like.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, with Red Dead Redemption 2, like, it doesn't like because the thing about that game that makes it so good for me is I had no hype for it. I didn't even know it was a thing until one day it was like people were like, "Oh, mate, this Red Dead Redemption's great." It's like, "Is it? Oh, okay, I'll buy it." And I bought it, and I was like, "Oh God, it is! What the fuck?" Like, and that was the exact same with Grand Theft Auto 5. I had no hype for that. Obviously, I knew it was coming. Had no hype for it, and then reviews dropped, and it was like, I should probably get Grand Theft Auto 5.
Ooh,
Yeah, I never played Red Dead because I never got into the hype for Red Dead. I never even knew much about it, like sort of like you. But then I never actually ended up picking it up anyway. But everyone says it's amazing that I need to play it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I probably would. I probably will play it at some point. But from what I gather from Red Dead, it's set. Is it like an open world?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's set in
It's Wild West GTA.
Yeah. So imagine the power of next gen
next
consoles in
gen.
an open
The
world.
power of next gen with the open world.
To me, you look at how from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas to Grand Theft Auto 5. I know we're talking about GTA again, but you look at sort of how it differentiated because of the power of the consoles. Would that be the same jump again if there was a Red Dead 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played Grand Theft Auto 5 on next gen, but like that's already like a massive technical improvement over what it was on PS3 and Xbox 360. And the weird thing about Grand Theft Auto 5 is I swear like that was always meant to be a next gen game, but like they're just like, we'll like release it early on 360 and PS3, and
Nah,
then
it was intended to come out on this gen. I just don't think they intended it to take so long and then so
all
long to
that, yeah,
port it.
because like it really was like one of the last bastions of great last gen games. It was like right on the cusp of like,
Greatness.
because that's why a lot of people missed it because they were like,
I'll
I'm
wait
not
for the
really,
next gen version. Yeah.
yeah,
It's still sold by the
um,
bucket load as well,
Well,
exactly.
yeah, it's
obviously.
GTA.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Even though it came out right at the end of a console generation, it's still sold by the bucket load. I think San Andreas did that as well when it came out on the PS2. I think.
GTA games will always sell well.
No, but I mean, I
No.
think it came out right at the end of the PS2
Oh,
life cycle as well.
no, I swear it was a couple of years before.
I would say Google. I'd Google it, but I don't really want to. But yeah, so we've got Red Dead from Mike, and I haven't played the first one, but I can see why people want that. Anyone else got one they want to add? Or I can jump in.
I don't mind going next.
Go on then, Laura. Surprise us.
It's not going to surprise you, because my answers on this podcast will rotate between Time Splitters and Saints Row. Today is Time Splitters.
So if we do this,
The two series Laura's loves the most.
if we do this topic next week, it'll be Saints Row. But thankfully, we're not doing this topic next week.
No, it depends what the topic is next week. I'll find a way to tie it to Saints Row. Test me.
Games we don't like.
Oh.
Boom!
Games that should never have gotten a sequel.
There we go. That's next week's topic.
I'm sad now.
Nailed it.
So yeah. So what's your game, Laura?
I don't know if I want to talk to you people.
Yeah, you do.
My game was Time Splitters Future Perfect needs a sequel. Not because of story reasons, because it was like, kind of spin-offery from number 2. I mean, I think officially it's classed as number 3, but it was kind of like...
Not number 3.
It was like there was time travel. The story was a bit wacky. It's not like I played it.
There was time travel in Time Splitters?
Whoa,
hold down there.
I love Future Perfect. It was my favourite one of the 3. It was amazing. Like,
yeah, I love
it was really good.
I love the campaign in Future Perfect. I think it's really underrated.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was the one that embraced humour more than the others.
Yeah.
If I would go
I only wanted to be loved.
Yeah.
Poor robot.
I remember, I think this is the one where, oh god, spoilers incoming. In number 2, I think Corporal Hart died. Or it's Corporal Hart or Sergeant Cortez died. One of them died, but when you play co-op, they keep the same pairing. And there's a line where you're walking through at the start, and they're like, I thought you died. Oh, never. Let's just keep walking. Or something like that. There's some little thing that was in them. It was like, yeah, that was funny. But yeah, basically, it's been so long. I mean, Future Perfect come out in 2005 on the PS2. So, I mean, we've had a whole generation where there's been no Time Splitters sequel. And I've waited patiently. Multiplayer online is now a big thing, right? I used to play this with friends. Not online,
to be fair,
with friends.
You say there's been a whole generation. There's a reason we haven't had it.
Yeah,
in the
I
last
know
generation.
there is a reason because of certain.
Because the company went bust.
But they were bought by Crytek, weren't they?
Yeah.
But
and they were working on Time Splitters 4 as well.
Yeah, it got cancelled, didn't it? Like they were working on it, and they showed off a few artwork stuff like that.
I think that was after it got put down.
Yeah, that was it was after them.
Yeah, but basically, and there's a Time Splitters Rewind, which is they remade remade the old ones or whatever that you can play on PC. Not the point. Basically, I waited long enough. There's enough, you know what I mean? Like the online multiplayer wasn't even really a thing on PS2. I mean, it has net play, which I think only rich people had, so Squiggy probably had it.
It had SOCOM.
I had it.
SOCOM and SOCOM.
Yeah. I remember playing. But I've had it on Xbox, so I played Xbox Live with it.
So rich. But I never had that on the PS2 because I wasn't getting net play in the really awkward way of doing it had. So yeah, so now there's a PS4 just crying out for a multiplayer game like Time Splitters with a nice solid co-op campaign. And I'd love to see Gingerbread Man and Snowman and Zombie.
All your favourites.
Crispin, the flaming zombie. How is he not lovable, people? Like, them characters still stick with me, and I just don't think there's anything like it, and I feel like you need a sequel. That's basically it. Oh, and monkeys. Oh my god, the monkeys.
I was about to say, how could you forget the monkeys? They were...
like the monkeys, man. The monkeys.
You just reminded me, talking about Future Perfect, my favourite level in Future Perfect is the one where you're in the hospital with the teenage girl, and there's all the zombies.
Oh.
I hope someone remembers what I'm talking about.
I do, yeah, I do.
And she's always she's making jokes about Cortez, looking up her skirt and stuff. It's just classic times. But
I just remember, like I said, it just sticks with you because the characters are so memorable. Like I remember there was a bit where Captain Ash was rowing a boat at the start of a mission, just singing "Row, row, row your boat."
I think I remember that one.
And just stuff like that. It's like I just think with all the developments that have been on consoles and are on current, it will just be done to a scale like no other. If you know what I mean? Time Splitters deserves to be done on this scale.
But it won't be because Crytek have gone bust.
I know. So. But let me have my dream, Mike.
I will let you have your dream. as as
It
like
needs a sequel.
I'm not. It does need a sequel, but it's just not gonna get one.
Just stop it. Don't make me cry.
Don't tell her the truth, damn it.
Let her live in
Kickstarter.
denial.
Honestly, I was about to say, I think the most likely thing that'll happen is you'll get like a spiritual sequel. So
That's not
Right.
good enough. It's just not. I mean, I'll take it right now, but it's just not.
I was about to
good
say,
enough.
would you really say no?
I wouldn't say no. I just would still want more. I'm greedy. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's where I'm coming from. Boot up.
Mike, do you want to? Slazo, do you want to go?
I'm saying, I
Mike's
don't mind.
already been.
I
Go
forgot.
there!
I forgot about Mike's game already.
Do it again. Do it again. Yeah. My one would be. What? My one would be Advance Wars because it's also been about a decade since the last one, and I used to play the shit out of that on DS, and the fact there hasn't been one, especially since like Dual Strike was the best DS game, and I think I played that for like 4 or 5 years solid, non-stop. And they haven't made one since. Well, they have, but it was shit, so we don't talk about
There
that
was
one.
one that came out in the
They haven't
GameCube,
made one,
wasn't there?
except for the time when
They haven't made
did.
one since, bar that one, which abandoned all the colours and everything, was gritty and realistic, and killed the franchise because
I
nobody
remember
gave a
that
shit.
one. What was There was one that came out on the DS close to launch, wasn't there?
Yeah, that's the one I'm on about,
Yeah.
Dual Strike,
Yeah.
which was just masterpiece.
And I think there was one with like had dark in the title.
Yeah, that's the one that came after, which was
Which was dark and
not
gritty.
good. Yeah, it made no sense for a game about colours and happy time war, but
Maybe
as
sorry,
happy as war can be.
you might be able to answer this on these. Listen,
Go for it.
is Advanced Wars and Battalion Wars at all related?
Yes, kind of. Battalion Wars
Wait.
is essentially first person, well, third person, Advance Wars, so there's more actual you physically shoot things, but it's kind of the same units and stuff.
Yeah,
But I never really got into Battalion Wars either. And I bought it for like a fiver, so.
I love Advanced Wars. I didn't play the ones on DS. I remember the ones from Game Boy, and
Oh,
I
you
loved
got
it.
so much for them. It was like, you could just play them for hundreds upon hundreds of hours, and it would be nice if the 3DS had something like that, something you can really just keep on playing and playing and playing and playing forever and ever. But
It'd be nice to have a reason to turn off Pokemon Shuffle, eh?
yeah, it wouldn't. I know, right?
You don't want a sequel to that, do you?
I know.
Pokemon Shuffle 2,
It
Pikachu's Boogaloo.
comes up, it updates every week. I don't need a sequel to Shuffle.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to see Advance Wars. I've been wanting it for years, and it's still not happened. But one day.
Which one's on Wii U, by the way? Because I know one of them's on the Wii U.
1 and 2 are on the Wii U. You can buy the Game Boy ones. I don't think you can get the DS one yet.
Because guess what, guys? It's logical to release these Game Boy games on the Wii U eShop, not the 3DS one.
Yeah, not
The Wii U.
the portable one. With a
As far
smaller
as I'm
screen.
aware, Virtual Console on 3DS, they've just abandoned it, I believe.
As far as I'm aware, they've just abandoned the 3DS.
Even though
No,
it's the
because
best
the
selling
3DS
system.
the 3DS is getting more games than the Wii U is at the moment.
That's not
I mean, you've
difficult.
got Happy Home Designer,
Chibi.
Triforce Heroes,
Chibi Stitch
Chibi
did last.
Robo, Zelda Warriors is coming out at some point soonish, I think. 3DS has got more support than the Wii U, which has...
No support. I was really thinking you were going to say it has more support than the Vita, and I was about to slap you.
No, it
You
doesn't.
dare.
It's got like 3 games coming out between now and the end of the year. Yay.
It's more than normal.
What about you, Squiggy?
I've got 3, to be fair.
Can't say Metal Gear.
I know Metal Gear's not one. Come on.
You just stole my secret special.
Yeah, so I've got 3 here that I really want a sequel. I've got different reasons. So, Heavenly Sword came out on the PS3. It was done by.
Really?
It was amazing. It was a really good game. It was short.
It was a launch title.
It wasn't actually.
I feel that's... Was it not?
It was. I swear it was a short launch.
No, no.
Heavenly Sword was the
No,
launch title.
it came out
Female God of War, yeah?
It came up 6 months after launch.
What launch window?
So yeah, I
Nice
really
save.
really
I'm
enjoyed
looking
it.
that up.
It was really good. It was, to be honest, it was probably one of my favorite PS3 games that I played, which says a lot about the amount of PS3 games I played. but it was really good. It looked good. It played really well.
I feel the need to mention,
Oh,
are they not working on a spiritual sequel to it?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I swear that at E3 there was a game announced by the developer
Not
that was
by
like,
Ninja
it's the spiritual successor to Heavenly Sword. It had like a half-naked female chick killing things.
I think I was there. Not at E3, but I was there.
Was that not Metal Gear Solid and Quiet?
No, I'm fairly...
Now I'm starting to realise why you like Quiet.
I'm not gonna lie, if you want a spiritual sequel to Heavenly Sword, I've got some good news. There's like a whole franchise of them.
Is it Devil May Cry?
No, it's not Devil May Cry.
Oh, it's called, it's Hellblade, I'm
Hellblade,
thinking
yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's being made by Ninja Theory.
Yeah.
I've just seen a headline from Eurogamer. Ninja Theory, don't call Hellblade Heavenly Sword 2. Well,
Yeah, well,
you know.
that was the thing. I remember when Heavenly Sword came out. It got good reviews, to be fair. It got a couple of 9s, a few 8s, and it got decent-ish reviews. Metacritic's got it at 79, so it's not a bad game by any means. But apparently Ninja Theory co-founder guy came out and basically said that a whole trilogy had been planned for it. And he's like, hopefully if this game's successful, then there's no reason why there shouldn't be a sequel. I think it was successful. But then reading a little bit more into it, it turns out that they actually didn't break even on the game, so they still made a loss on it.
Wow.
But that's
Go buy some more copies.
But I think that's because of. I mean, I said the game was quite
Years
short.
later.
It was good, but it was short. Like the combat was really good. It looked really good, especially when it came out quite early on.
I remember people saying it was like one of the technical showcases for the PS3.
Yeah, it's probably a bit like Rise is on the Xbox One. But yeah,
Or The Order.
Yeah, or the Order on PS4. Yeah, I really enjoyed it though, and it's a game that if there was a sequel, I'd be excited for it. I wouldn't be hyped, but I'd be excited for it, and I would definitely pick it up.
on the scale of excitement, not hyped out of 10.
No, so
Excited out of 10.
I'd be excited to see a sequel and see what they do with it, but
Well, according to Wikipedia, a sequel was in development
yeah,
and it got cancelled.
yeah, it got cancelled. Yeah, yeah, that's what happens, unfortunately. I've got a couple more. So this one did kind of have a sequel on the Xbox 360, and it was a launch title on the Xbox 360, and it was awful on the Xbox 360.
I think I know what it is. Can I guess?
Yeah, have a guess.
Is it Perfect Dark?
It is. It's Perfect Dark. Yes.
I'm good.
So I loved N64 Perfect Dark.
Awful's a bit strong. Like
What, Perfect Dark Zero?
Yeah,
No,
I'd say it was awful.
It was awful.
It was
Right,
terrible.
let's have a look at reviews.
It was terrible bad.
I just thought it was average because I remember playing it, like getting it for a 5. I know that fiver doesn't sound like a great sell, but I thought it was all right. Like it was.
I picked it up in a bargain bin. I mean,
I don't
Yeah.
know what you people expected.
Look at you, I bought it on launch.
see, I don't know what to think of these reviews because like this was back in the launch like window.
4
So
out
like
of 5 on Metacritic.
Yeah, it got
8.4.
it got decent
9 out of 10.
reviews.
it got like 9s and 8s and 7s. So it's like but maybe their expectations were a little bit low.
Hang on, sorry, it was on here 8th best Xbox 360 game of 2005. The second most
What about
discussed.
the other ones?
The second.
Eighth best
Eighth
out of 9.
Eighth best out of the launch titles.
Alright, I remember
Out of the launch, 8th best out of the launch of 8
yeah.
games.
Call of Duty 2 was top, Project Gotham 3 was second, Geometry Wars, Dead or Alive 4, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Condemned, NBA 2K6,
Yeah.
and then it was Perfect Dark.
Which says it all.
Leave NBA alone!
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't.
Oh my god, Peter Jackson King Kong got an 80. Sorry, now the score
Yeah.
system's
Right,
Exactly.
so this is like similar to Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Yeah, it's like 1 point
So,
better than it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
God.
it was disappointing based on probably a Perfect Dark standard from the N64 style. A bit like if they released a GoldenEye sequel, it would probably be disappointing based on that. But
They did.
you know what I mean.
It was awful.
Exactly. Thank you. There we go.
See, I just think awful was harsh. I mean, I don't think it was anywhere. It wasn't a patch on the N64 version, but
Yeah.
I
So
I just think awful implies unplayable and no redeeming
It
features. And I
probably
think it
is
had.
Well, I
unplayable.
think they fixed it up a bit for the rare replay version.
yeah.
Looks at
Well,
Squiggy.
we'll find out. I'll give it a play and have a look. But
Oh, have you not played
no,
that
no,
one
yeah.
yet?
But I'd love a actual sequel to Perfect Dark. Basically keeping exactly the same mechanics as that one. Obviously updating it a bit for the new generation, making it a bit more shiny, and putting a proper online mode in because I didn't really like the online mode of Perfect Dark Zero. I thought it was
You,
pretty poor.
you just made me think of something I want, but I don't. It's not really a sequel. Hmm.
Save it.
I'm
Save it,
gonna say
girl.
because it is like a sequel, but I don't think it's a sequel. So I'm gonna just continue.
Is
fine.
it a sequel? Isn't it a sequel?
No, because it's not like it's gonna be I could never get a direct sequel to the said game, and there have been attempts to make it. Because I was saying okay, I'm just gonna say to be fair, Perfect Dark I always thought was similar to James Bond GoldenEye on N64, and I would choose between the both.
Welcome
And
to
I
like
just
10 minutes ago.
yeah, that's
There's,
that's what I'm saying. But I was just thinking, man, I want a PS4 James Bond game, but I just don't know.
There's a good one on the PS2. It was called Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
Hey,
See what I did there.
I enjoyed Nightfire.
I
With
like
the last James
Nightfire.
Bond.
Nightfire was
Yeah,
yeah.
and then after Nightfire, everything went downhill.
Yeah.
Because
Bloodstone wasn't too bad. It was basically Call of Duty.
what the hell is
It
Bloodstone?
came out on the 360. It was
I'm
basically
looking at the James Bond game timeline, and it's not on there, Squiggy.
was it Bloodstone?
No, it was. It was a game.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Oh, yeah, I've got it. I've got it. The golden. It was after the golden 007 reimagining.
Yeah,
Got it.
it came out on 360 and PS3, and it wasn't. It was basically Call of Duty reskinned as James Bond.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that the last few, like, the Quantum game and all that, basically is like, as Call of Duty became more popular, James Bond basically just became reskinned.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Call of Duty.
well, to be fair, it's after Nightfire they tried to go all bold, didn't they, and do Rogue Agent. If anyone
I
remembers
think I
that.
played that one on the GameCube. I think it's
Yeah,
alright.
and it was diabolically bad.
Oh well, maybe it wasn't alright.
Well, Laura, you'll never see another James Bond game anyway, because have you not noticed that like the age of tie-in games is
Oh
dead?
no! I don't want to. I don't want to tie a movie. I mean, we had one 007s in 2012, which I think Squiggy bought actually. I swear he bought this.
Which one?
007 Legends. You get to play as all the different Bonds.
No, I was going to, but I didn't.
Okay.
Or maybe I
Yeah.
did.
I mean, I don't want a direct film tie-in. I just think.
No, I'm just saying that like as a whole, like tie-ins to intellectual properties seem to be a lot rarer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I know
I
what you're
get what you mean.
saying.
There's
I know
not
what
as
you're
many.
saying.
There's not as many
there's
movie.
there's no
movie
longer
games.
like buy the game with the movie because
Yeah. Yeah, I've got one more.
To be fair, isn't that because they're mostly like mobile apps kind of stuff nowadays?
yeah,
It's
like it's been
yeah.
replaced by mobile games pretty
Yeah.
much. So you'll probably see James Bond mobile games, but
Yeah.
I'm disappointed 007 Racing never got a sequel. I'm saying it now.
I never
Oh,
played.
I thought of another. Oh, I
Well,
can't
I've
find
I
it.
thought of a few.
I just thought of one before when we were talking about Perfect Dark, and it was another 360 launch title. Does anyone have a guess at this one? It was made by Rare.
Viva
Cameo.
Pinata?
No.
I got a sequel.
What do you get, Mike?
Yeah, I meant another
Cameo.
one.
Cameo. Yep, Cameo. I really enjoyed Cameo, and I thought it should have got a sequel, but
It looks
obviously,
fun.
basically any Rare game that was half decent should have probably got a sequel, but didn't because of what Microsoft did to Rare. Let's
Well,
go.
I'm just gonna hijack this.
Kinect Sports got a sequel. What are you talking about?
Unfortunately.
I'm gonna hijack this to say, how did no one say Banjo Kazooie or Banjo Tooie rather?
Because it has several sequels.
Well, nuts and bolts, but that's not really class. I wouldn't class that.
Yeah, no, like a proper sequel to Banjo Tooie.
Like a proper
is,
platforming Banjo
Yeah.
There's a
Kazooie.
game
Yeah.
one. It's called Ukulele.
Yeah.
Uh,
It'd be good to see like now that Rare seemingly let out of the closet. Like, okay, you can stop working on Connect, shovelware, go make actual games.
Yeah.
Be good to see like, you know.
Well, we've got their pirate thing coming. That should be pretty cool.
Yeah, that looks a bit like the Banjo art style in a way. I don't know
Well,
what.
everyone, I think when they first didn't say it, I was like, "Oh my god, is it?
Yeah.
Is it actually?"
Yeah.
And then, oh no, it's pirates.
I hate it when they do that at E3. I really do, because you get really excited, like when they say a game that hasn't been seen in years. Yes, and then it's like, oh, yeah, thanks.
Hey, now.
Every time I look up, like it's time splitters.
Don't
And every
just,
time I
no,
look back
because
down.
now you're just making me think of that Conker's Bad Fur Day thing.
I was about to say Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Conker, guest starring in Project Spark. Fuck you, Microsoft.
Yeah, that sort of thing that they do, and you're like, yes, yeah, no. Oh, I'm just
I've
gonna
got
no.
I've got one other one as well, which is like the Dream sequel, which
Alright.
I think everybody here would just love, which is the Orange Box 2. Give me Team Fortress 3, Left 4 Dead 3, Portal 3,
We got Left 4 Dead
Half-Life
3.
3.
It's called Evolve.
Actually, I don't want a Portal 3. I think Portal 2 finished it off perfectly. So I don't think there's need for a
There's
sequel.
always one, that it's always
I'm-
Slazo.
Put it like this, I really wanted a sequel for Portal 1, and now we've had Portal 2, and I was like, perfect, it's done.
I'm not gonna lie, Portal wasn't my favourite part of that collection.
What?
I'm sorry.
Get out.
I really enjoyed Team Fortress 2, and I actually finished Half-Life 2, which is weird, because I didn't
Yeah.
ever think I was gonna finish that.
I really enjoyed Team Fortress 2 out of that collection.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, I had great fun playing TF2, but Portal
Yeah.
completely.
I didn't play
Portal was why I
anything
bought
but
360.
TF2.
I remember because we used to play TF2 on the Xbox. I remember the first time I played it on PC, and I was just like, "Good God, what have I been playing on Xbox these past year or whatever?" Ugh.
I don't know, I preferred it on 360. Oh, that's
I-
probably because the party chat and
And
everything.
I also prefer console gaming as a rule, and I've never had a PC that could probably run it smooth enough without me getting frustrated, like, you piece of junk! Like
Team
that.
Fortress runs on anything, Laura. It's one of the most.
You doubt my PC.
It runs on a
No.
Mac.
They'll run on anything.
I
But
can't
it's
even-
also just like
I can't run Roller Coaster Tycoon on this computer.
Really?
it's like
Bullshit.
No, I really can't. I can't.
Bullshit.
It just crashes all the time.
What kind of
Have
computer
you,
have you got?
have you got the good old games version? We're going on a tangent now.
I don't know. It's on Steam. I don't know what I've got.
Oh. Go on, sorry.
Carry on.
sorry, no, I was just gonna say that
Oh
like
shit, I exited Steam. Carry on.
I think it's more a case of like I know I mean I know it's not surprising that like Valve didn't support the console version, but it's just like it didn't take long for the PC version to be like, hey, we're really like further along than the console that like if you went and played Team Fortress 2 now, like is the servers even still up?
Yeah, it's still
On the
around.
console
They still
version?
don't they still do free play on it? I know it's free anyway.
Is that
Yeah, no, on the PC.
That's
No,
I
he
mean,
means
PC.
console.
He means console.
Oh.
I mean, like if you try to play it on
No
PS4,
idea.
I'm not
Let's
sure.
You say this, but I don't really like TF2 on the PC much these days. It's gotten
oh no,
to
I
because
I
there's
don't like it
so many
these
millions
days.
of things now. Yeah.
Yeah, but like back when it was still slightly sane, not like
Yeah.
hats. Um, and then like when they were like, oh, we're adding weapons and all that, and it's like, oh, only on the PC version. It's like, oh, fuck. And then they went overboard and was like, here, have millions of new weapons. It's like, oh,
The last time
I
someone
don't
spoke
like
about the
this.
360 version when I googled it to see if it was dead was 6 years ago. So let's assume it's dead.
Yeah, it's dead. It's dead and buried. But yeah, so has anyone got any more?
But honestly,
Sorry, Mike. Just cut you
no,
off.
did
Oh,
you-
I
Yeah,
was
I did
gonna say,
have one
honestly,
of Hampton House. Oh, go on.
Wait, who's
I'm
talking?
confused.
I'm not.
Great,
sure
I'll
who-
go.
Okay.
I was gonna say a sequel to Pokemon Colosseum,
Yes.
like another.
It did. It
That
was
would be
called
cool.
Pokemon XD.
Gale of Darkness.
Yeah, I
got
know.
the
I
Darkness
played
version.
that one.
That reminds me, Pokemon Snap.
Ooh.
Yes.
How they never made Pokemon Snap 2 on the Wii U using the gamepad as a camera,
I know.
I will never
It's
fucking
brilliant,
like
they've had-
literally.
We
Not
could.
just the Wii U. It was like, here's the Wii. This is perfect for it. Here's
Yep.
the 3DS with cameras. This is also perfect for it. Here's the Wii U. This is literally Nintendo. What are you doing?
Where is my Pokemon Snap?
Yeah, we've
It's
gone
like
forever.
literally just give me like $1 million to make this game, and I would probably make you back day one. Like it would just, I would sell Wii U's with that game.
The biggest thing I can say is I would kickstart it, and I don't kickstart anything, but I would kickstart a Pokemon Snap game. And,
Good luck
yeah.
getting sued by the Pokemon.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna create. I mean, I'm not gonna create the thing. Calm
Just
down.
don't throw
Calm
a
down.
Pokemon party. That's all I've got to say. So yeah, I think we could go on
Ah.
forever for this topic. There's
Yeah.
a lot.
It's basically Nintendo's whole backlog
Yeah.
is enough.
Yeah,
to
there's a
talk
lot.
about.
Where
Jack and
Galaxy-
Daxter. We could have a new Jack and Daxter.
There's
Are
a
we
lot.
Oh,
getting
God,
a new?
no,
What,
no.
are we getting that, or did I imagine that?
Can you imagine that?
I imagined that.
You're imagining that.
To be fair, I had a dream that Jenna
Crash,
Coleman.
Crash Team Racing.
I had a dream.
Bianca Evil.
I was gonna say I had a dream that Jenna Coleman was in Strictly, so my judgment's way off. I wrote up thinking that was real.
Happy fever dreams.
Oh,
Yeah.
just,
So there's a lot we can go through, but I think we'll
Yeah,
best end this now. Otherwise, the
yeah,
next 3
but-
hours are going to be us talking about sequels we want
It
to
is
see.
because I'm looking at my shelf going sequel, die, sequel, die.
See, I'm looking at my
Die.
shelf and going Metal
Die
Gear,
and
Metal
FIFA.
Gear, Metal Gear, Metal Gear.
Oh, that's what I just wanted to end on. Is I wanted to say Metal Gear Solid 6, because after the end of Metal Gear Solid 5, you owe me the missing link.
Well,
Let's spoil it for
there
Laura.
is the missing link. You just have to know where to look, so to speak.
Is it online?
No,
It's online because shit got cut.
Yeah.
And that's
no,
what
no,
I
no, no,
said.
no. That's not even the missing link.
Oh right. Oh okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll move
They've
away
already
from
done
that.
that, Slazo.
We'll move
Oh,
away
okay.
from that because Laura hasn't finished it and we don't want
No.
to.
Oh my god, I'm trying. Don't put pressure on me, man. I'm sick.
Take days off. So anyway,
I'm
You're
sick.
sick, therefore you should be at home resting.
I don't like
While
your
you're
logic.
resting.
I don't like your
Rest-
logic,
wrestling.
Slazo. I'm
Rest-
resting with my conscience of not playing Metal Gear Solid. Fine.
so yeah. Anyway, we'll move along from our topic of the week. There's a few more features to this podcast that we're going to introduce you to, and they're going to become a part of this podcast from the next few weeks onwards. The first one is Games Club. Games Club is pretty simple. We all decide on a game. We have a month to play it. We don't have to finish the game or 100% it, just play it, which is perfect for Slazo, who'll probably play the opening, and that's it.
Hypocrite.
yeah.
And then
That hypocrite.
four
Continue.
podcasts later from this one, we'll get together. Not podcasts. 4 weeks later, we'll get together, discuss the game, what we liked, what we didn't like, what improvements we'd like to see. But it's not only open to us; anyone can get involved. So if you're listening, send through opinions of the game, what you thought, and we'll work them into the show, depending how many we get, because we'll get millions.
Tweet us at
And
Remastered.
Yep, tweet us at retroremastered.com, exactly. So anyway,
That's not our Twitter handle. It's not
It's not a Twitter handle.
I was gonna say we could
This is why we
Find
get no
out.
tweets.
we could find out why Slazo didn't play it or something like that. Like you only
Yeah,
half an hour because
what
it was
excuse
crap.
he's got. Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll have
that'd be great.
I mean, I'll go, my dog ate my homework, and I'll be like, it's seriously.
My
job.
cat
So
ate my
you see.
disc. Anyway, so the first game is Uncharted 1.
Nominated by me.
Nominated by Mike. So because really Uncharted 4 releases early next year, and the Nathan Drake collection has just come out, we thought it'd be a good one to start with.
It's out.
Yeah, it came out on Friday.
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
I have a
Oh, okay.
job. I don't notice these things.
Yeah, so anyway-
Sorry.
No, I thought it was coming out in a few weeks.
No,
Oh.
it's
No,
fine.
no,
I just
yeah.
like what.
I am now the owner of it now. I have the special edition
Oh
as well.
my god.
So look,
Just-
it's so I can take part in this. I don't want to
Oh,
alone.
don't lie to me. The special edition is not needed.
It's a requirement. You need to have the steel book.
yeah,
Oh
so-
my god, I'm judging you so much.
Yeah, everyone does.
Oh,
I'm going back to my JRPGs now.
yeah, so am I.
No, you're not. So anyway.
Oh, what you playing, Laura?
Oh, shut up.
Mr. McGeege's World of Emporium.
isn't that Mr. Midoriya's Wonder Emporium?
Sure. The JRPG.
Can we play that in
edition.
Games Club? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's the next one. So
I
anyway,
made it myself.
oh, let's not play that. It'll only last 20 minutes long. So how's your game coming along?
Work in progress, mate. Work in progress. More
that-
news next year.
That can be part of Game Club.
More news next year.
So
Watch this
No,
space.
he's gonna use us like guinea pigs. I'm not keen on this.
Yeah.
Carry on, Squiggy.
so anyway, if you check back to youtube.com/retroremastered in 3-4 weeks time, I think that's the web link. I think that's the link. If not,
It is.
So-
It was the fact you gave the URL for YouTube was why we laughed. Sorry.
yeah, I had to because if you go on our Twitter and at retroremastered.com, you're not going to get anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have a specific date to record it yet, but
Yeah, so
it'll
yeah,
be starting the 7th
yeah.
of November.
Yeah, so we'll tweet the link out, and obviously it'll be on YouTube, and we'll probably plug it in in that podcast we do. But until then, we've got some Uncharted to play.
Yay.
Everyone's like,
Sound more
I'm
excited,
looking-
damn.
I'm looking forward to playing it.
Sorry.
I've never played it.
I might play it tomorrow. I might get ahead of the curve.
You've got Metal Gear Solid to finish first.
No, Uncharted comes first.
so
You can't stop me.
the next feature of the podcast is the salt mine. So everyone gets a bit salty from time to time. We
Nope.
all do. This segment is a
Nope.
chance to to
I'm
get
more
our
of a
to get our salt out, to get a chance to vent. So every week we'll have a little say on something that's made us salty. It could be ridiculous DLC, like this week's is, or it could just be a terrible game, like this week's could also be with Tony Hawk. Um, so
Oh, fuck that.
the first victim in our salt mine is Konami for a change, and
I like Konami.
their ridiculous forward operating base insurance DLC.
I don't like that.
So yeah, this caused a lot of jokes across Twitter, and a lot of people actually thought it was fake. Because to be honest, who's going to pay money to protect the virtual assets? But it's not only you don't pay $7.99. I don't know, is it $7.99 or $8.99 or something like that? You don't pay that off as a one-off fee forever. You've got to keep renewing it, pretty much like insurance works. So it's like, I don't even know how to explain it without calling it
It's amazing.
stupid. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
It's basically like a protection racket. Like, it's so ridiculous that, like, basically for those who haven't played Metal Gear Solid 5, you hi Slazo. You have base where you build it up over the course of the game, and then about halfway through the game makes you, unless you like glitch it out or I don't know. I think some people have said that there's a workaround, but it's not like something that you can actually choose. But the game makes you go, okay, now build a forward operating base, which is like a smaller base connected to online, so people can come in and invade your base. You can go and invade other people's bases. There's no way to opt out of it. There's no way to go like, yeah, I don't really want to take part in that. So as soon as you get to that point in the game, players can just come in and steal your crap, and then have the audacity to then go, that's a nice base you've got there. Would be a shame if something were to happen to it. Why don't you just pay us £8 a month and we'll keep you protected? And all it basically is that when people steal crap from you, they take the crap and then they just go, all right, put the crap back on your base and act as if nothing happened. So you're not really doing much. It's just like you still get invaded, just you'll get compensated with, insurance or whatever and get your stuff back. But it's just like, it's ridiculous. This should just be an option in the game to be like, do you want to opt into the online? Yes or no? It's like, no, you can't invade other people when they can't invade you. Boom, done. But no, it's not that simple.
Yeah, you've got no
We need to
choice.
make some money out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's literally people have got to take out an insurance policy in a video game to protect their virtual items from being damaged or stolen, which is absolutely ridiculous. And to be honest, Konami should be ashamed they're even trying to do something like that. It is the stupidest DLC content I have ever heard of in my life. And we talked about the WWE stuff before.
This is like along the line of the accelerator, but at least the accelerator has a purpose. Like I'd be like, oh, that's for people that don't have enough time to do everything and stuff like that. That I'm fine with. This is just punishing people, like
It's
flat
just
out.
I don't say it wouldn't have a purpose because one thing that I am noticing is that I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 5 in about 2 weeks. I'm actually scared to log on because it seems like every time I log on, I get greeted by a message like, while you were on, 3 people came and took all of your stuff.
72 people were raided. The last lot are disappointed because there's nothing left. Sad face.
Yeah, like literally, like it was so soul destroying to log on and be like, oh, while you're away, you just got robbed, mate. And it's like, oh god, there was nothing I could have done for this. Like, you can set up your AI as much as you can, but like, bit of a tangent, but I think like the forward operating base is just so unfair to the point where, and to be online to defend your base, the attacker has like complete advantage. They have stupid AI, which is easy. It basically becomes single player at that point, where you just go pop, 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 and then I'm going to steal your stuff. Like, whenever I've invaded people's bases, if they haven't been there to defend it, it's been easy as shit. But 9 times out of 10, like, they'll pop in after 5 minutes, and then it becomes much harder. So yeah, I'm genuinely scared to log back on, and then now I just don't want to log back on because it's like, fuck Konami, you're a bunch of dicks. Like,
yeah.
It's totally ruined the mood.
Yeah. In theory as well, though, if someone could get invaded, and then obviously when you invade them, you open up a portal to your forward operating base. So in theory, if someone has the insurance, you steal their stuff, they get that stuff back, but then can go and steal your stuff, and you don't have insurance. So really, they lose nothing and gain everything.
Yeah.
Which is it's
also
just ridiculous. So Konami, you are first person in the salt mine, and you are not getting out.
I was going to say, there is something I am interested. I am interested to see how many people buy it. I hope they reveal the figures of how many people take the option. Because I'm generally intrigued to see if, what the percentage is or stuff like that. I'm just generally curious.
Yeah, it'd be I can't imagine.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm quite interested to see how it does, because if it does well, then it's going to be a sort of trend.
I don't think it'll be a trend at all.
No, I think Konami have sunk to the lowest of the low to do that.
Yeah, I think this is literally Konami just burning all bridges, being like, look, after this, we're only making yearly PES games. We don't give a crap anymore. And I think if anybody like EA or Ubisoft tried to pull this, like, knowing that they still have their legacy in the video gaming, they wouldn't be able to, handle the backlash. Konami are just like, be angry, we don't care. We're out of here. We'll take whatever money people throw at us, and then, boom.
Yeah.
Off to mobile gaming we go.
Yeah. So I think we can all agree that Konami in the salt mine is a good idea.
Bury them at the deepest.
I was going to say, they're not getting out. They are not getting
out. They're never coming out.
No. So moving away from our little rant and saltiness towards Konami, we're going to round our podcast off every week with the top 50 list. So basically every week someone from the Retro Remastered team is going to put a game forward. We'll discuss little bits about the game and whether we think it deserves a place in our top 50. This week Laura has decided to go first, so take it away.
I did decide there was pressure, right? And then my first idea got shouted down so bad I didn't want to do it. Which everyone can guess what that was.
Time Splitters. Oh, it's Saints Row.
Oh well. To be fair, earlier I did tell everyone prequel that I was going to suggest Time Splitters 2, but after discussing Future Perfect and looking back and while we've been talking, looking back and forth, I've decided I should probably nominate Future Perfect instead. Just because Time Splitters 2 was good and everything, but I'm just thinking, when I think back to the actual campaign of Time Splitters 2, it was decent, but I think if I played it on my own and not with a co-op buddy, it may have been
I don't remember the campaign for Time Splitters 2. But I remember Future Perfect.
Yeah. I remember playing, that's the thing, I think that was a great on your own. I remember more memories of playing it, if you know what I mean, with someone there, rather than the actual thing itself. So yeah. So anyway, I think Future Perfect should be our first inductee because right? It's been so long, and you all think of it with rose tinted glasses on. I know you all do. Apart from Slazo, probably never played it.
That's your first reason.
That's my first reason. My first reason
You're
is
doing great here. You should vote it because it's old.
Should vote with it.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay. There's nothing else like it. It has a unique campaign. It mastered humor like no other game come close.
Nothing else like it.
Nothing else like Time Splitters Future Perfect. No,
there isn't. There's monkeys, man. Monkeys.
Oh, no game's ever had monkeys before. Oh.
I don't like going first. I don't like
Ape Escape.
Escape from Monkey Island.
I meant monkeys in that scenario, not just monkeys in general. Otherwise, King Kong would be like.
Peter Jackson's King Kong.
I'm not necessarily against putting Time Splitters in, but I think Laura's making a really bad argument here.
I don't know what you want from me. It just was one of the best shooters of its time. It was a reason to buy a PlayStation 2. I did not realise it was on GameCube as well. That must have been nice for Nintendo users at that time. Sorry.
What, Future Perfect?
I'm pretty sure it was on all consoles.
Yeah.
It was. It was on PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox. I knew it was on Xbox and PlayStation 2, but I just don't remember it on GameCube.
Yeah, it was on
I know Time Splitters 2 was on all of them. I didn't realise Future Perfect was.
Yeah.
No,
that's probably because the GameCube version was apparently later. That's why.
That'll be why.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate then and make an argument as to why it shouldn't go in, which is you're looking on it on rose tinted glasses, Laura. If you went back and played it now, you'd probably realise it's a fairly average FPS.
But what game can't you say that about?
No, I know. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Okay. I'm just saying in general that can be applied to anything.
No, if I went back and played Halo.
I think. I think.
Sucks.
I mean, Squiggy tries and can't.
I
So.
played some Halo this morning, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I actually got a game straight away. I was shocked.
I was more thinking the campaign,
Yeah,
Oh,
not the
fair enough.
online. Like the Halo campaigns still hold up.
yeah.
How about
And
the?
then
Oh, I've just realised what I should have sold it on.
go on.
Go on,
It's
The
still
map-
going. You can still
sorry,
do it.
The map maker mode was quite
Forge.
huge at the time.
That or like
Not Forge! Not Forge!
the map maker in Time Splitters is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'll give you
because I
that.
mean, it was easy to do as well. Because there's something I don't like about Forge. I'm not very good at Halo Forge when it was there free. When Halo 3.
Halo 4,
Yeah.
Halo Forge.
Forge, Halo 3 Forge. There we go.
Okay.
But Time Splitters, I was younger and did it before, and yet I found it much easier, and you could just do as
Well,
much.
it is because like Forge is the problem of like it's all real time physics. So you go,
Yeah.
I'm going to put this block here, and then it falls, and you're like, no, come back.
I appreciated that you could make a complex map, and then there's also a beginner mode, so you could do simple maps for people like me that had no
That's
idea.
actually probably my favorite Time Splitters memory. Is a friend of mine was like, oh, look at the maps I made, and then we played the first one, and you press the button, and it crashed the game. It's just like masterpiece.
I don't want to sell it on that. That memory never happened to me. That was That was
No,
exclusive
no.
to
It
certain
was just
friends.
more a funny moment because it was like, oh, the game's frozen.
I feel like if you really wanted to sell it, Laura, all you really needed to say was infection.
Oh yeah. Oh, flame tag, as well. Infection and
Yeah.
flame. I can't deny flame.
I'm
I
gonna-
started going to that.
I'm
You
going to
wanted to say,
agree.
why didn't you just say it was the best multiplayer shooter of that
I
generation?
did say that. I literally said that phrase.
You started selling it with
No, okay. I
it's-
started
It's an
badly.
old game.
I
You
started-
know how much we love them.
I started badly, but I said that line that he said.
I feel like, yeah,
I
the
needed a warm
single
up time.
player, the single player probably doesn't hold up to nowadays. But I think just like back in the day, 4-player split screen, playing infection, playing.
Or flame tag. I love flame tag. I just want to sell flame tag
If you-
because
if
no
you think-
game has ever come
Yeah,
close.
if
to
you
it.
think though, some of our favourite modes in Halo 3 are some of them that are in Time Splitters as well. If
Yeah.
that makes
And
sense.
and they weren't actually in Halo 3. Some of them that we did ourselves.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah. But
But they were
I
actually
think
in.
I think
Time Splitters.
the Time Splitters campaign is a bit dated, but it had quite a bit of variety of different places to go to. So you had
Yeah,
different.
because
Yeah,
I think
it was.
I
yeah.
don't think the story or cutscenes are dated.
No,
though, if that
no,
makes
so you-
sense.
but you
like
had
that
different-
holds up. You can
yeah.
enjoy that.
but you had different environments. So it was always a change. It wasn't just a corridor shooter, which is what quite a lot of sort of older games were in theory. This one was a bit different. It did break the mold a little bit, and it sort of broke the mold in storytelling in a way, with the timey-wimey stuff.
With the times.
Yeah, and like it was different, and obviously the multiplayer, it was probably the reason a lot of people got involved with PlayStation Online and Xbox Live, and it was good fun online. It was probably, well, it was one of my most played games on Xbox Live when I first got it, and
I didn't even have online. It was still.
yeah,
One of
and me and my
most
friend used to play it all the time. We used to go around to my other friend's house who had a PlayStation, copy Time Splitters, get the multi tab, was it for the
Yeah,
PS?
multi tap.
Yeah, get that, couple of controllers, play Time Splitters all day. And to be honest, I think it deserves to go in the top 50 because of the game and memories that we've got from it, more than anything. And I do think it was a good game, and I think the memories that we've got from it, we're still talking about it now. I think that shows how much of a good game it was.
I think it also was like early, like as you said about Halo, kind of has similar things to it now. A lot of the things that were first done in Time Splitters. Yeah. A lot of the things that were done in Time Splitters like were so good that the basic idea carried on and got evolved by other games.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like.
yeah. So, Time Splitters, is Time Splitters feature perfect?
Yeah.
Yes or no, everyone?
Yeah.
Slazo?
Sure, why
Yeah.
not?
I'll go with it's a yes from me. That's 4 yeses. You're through to the top 50.
It's 3 yeses.
Laura's gonna
Yeah,
Laura's
but
gonna yes it.
No. Why
You
would
can't. What? Why can the person who nominates it say yes on what?
She can't, but we're gonna give her it for now, so I can just use that 4 yeses quote.
Yeah, that's all he wanted. For me to use me for a quote. Thanks.
Okay.
It's a
I'm
yes
really-
from me.
I'd like to say no, actually.
Oh, it's a,
I nominated it, and it was a trick.
But you know what? In trying to defend it, I realised, it's a
I
crock of
realised,
shit.
yeah, that's what happened.
It's actually weird to think that game came out 10 years ago.
exactly.
I-
Yeah. And that's another factor in it as well, that it is a 10-year-old game and how
That's
fun.
I knew there was so sorry. I know there was something there with age.
I think I've done a better job.
I
of
like-
trying to get it in
like-
there than Laura.
Yeah, we've sold it better. Laura starts with, "Wear your rose-tinted goggles, guys."
You're in for a ride. It's got
Nostalgia.
monkeys.
I'm gonna be honest. The monkeys. I literally was sold on the monkeys. I don't know. I would literally. Apart from King Kong, games with monkeys are all. I hate that King Kong game. No one induct that. That's not a future nominee.
I think it's safe to say this was the first and last of Laura's nominated games
No,
to get
no,
added to the top
No,
50.
because I'm gonna be so much more prepared.
Let's put it this
for
way:
the next one.
things can only get better.
She's going to be so much more prepared when she nominates Saints Row 4.
I'm gonna be honest.
She's
I'm
gonna
never
have to
gonna
be.
nominate it because I know you lot would vote no anyway. So I don't even see the point in
Yes,
trying.
yes, we will vote no for Saints Row 4 in the top 50 games of all time.
I just want to be loved.
Yep.
Like
I mean,
Saints
like when you put it like that, Time Splitters is a bit edge, like on the edge when it comes. No, just on the edge.
Don't worry. Like this time in 5 years.
I'm voting no on everyone.
Well,
I was about to say, like, that's one of the things we should note is that once we get 50 games in,
You've got to vote one out.
we have to then vote one out if we want
Oh
to vote
god,
one.
it's gonna be all the games I picked. It's just gonna be a slow process and vote everything.
I think we'll finish off. We'll finish off here. Is everyone good with that?
Yep.
Yep. So this was the first
Round it out.
ever episode of the Party Chat Podcast.
Sorry.
Alright, let's try that again.
No, I thought that worked
I liked
brilliantly.
it, yeah.
It's
So-
like first ever cough.
So this was the first
I thought it was
ever
a sneeze.
episode of the Party Chat Podcast. Keep
It was a
checking
sneeze.
Retro Remastered for any gaming news, and yeah, have a good week, guys. Have a good week. Thanks for listening.
Don't forget to play Uncharted.
Never.
Darren doesn't have it.